Oh boy. I probably feel just as rough as the Eagles do right now. I don't know how they won that game. I think they're incredibly lucky. I mean, it was a miraculous win. I mean, you talk about miracle of miracles, because let's be honest, like, after the two dumb penalties that got the Cowboys into Eagles territory, at that point I just thought to myself, well, Dallas is either going to win the game or something incredibly miraculous is going to happen. I kept praying for a turnover, but it never came. Credit to Dak Prescott. He had a hell of a fucking game. Him and Jalen Hurts. No turnovers by either quarterback. No fumbles. No interceptions thrown. I mean, nearly flawless performance by both QBs. And not to sound biased, but I almost want to give Jalen Hurts the edge because that guy got beat the fuck up. And you could tell, like, his knee got hurt seriously, like strained or something, but motherfucker got back in there and toughed it out and earned himself more brownie points with the Philadelphia faithful because he comes back into the game and throws two touchdown passes that pretty much decided the game, because then the offense forgot to show up for the fourth quarter. Whew. Or that's just credit to Dallas's defense. I mean, overall, this was a very fun game to watch, depending on how you look at it. I mean, penalty wise, it was atrocious. Both teams combined for 20 penalties, 10 by each team, and the Eagles outgaining Dallas in the yardage wise by let's see. Yeah, the Eagles had 98 yards in the penalties. The Cowboys only 83. So I guess Dallas won the penalty battle by about 15 yards. But a lot of good it did them. I mean, holy crap. It's a weird game if you watched it from start to finish, especially with how Dallas managed to leave points on the field, though not entirely their fault, I guess. But hey, the Eagles make plenty of their own dumb mistakes and shoot themselves in the foot, so it was like a mirror image game. Like, both these teams were pretty well matched, but it almost pains me to say it, but I think Dallas kind of outdid Philadelphia a little bit in this game in terms of, like, overall aggressiveness, especially in the fourth quarter. Like, offensively and defensively, Dallas had the fire and the Eagles had none. But yet, the defense made plays when it needed to. Bend but don't break. How about good old Brandon Graham? About a sack and a half, and when it really counted. Old dog still making big plays, and Josh Sweat, I almost want to say, had the play of the game. That sack was fucking huge. Dallas had to run a play, or they could have spiked it. Maybe spiking it probably would have been the better move. But the Birds hang on. I mean, literally held on by their lucky stars to pull that one out. Whew. It about played out the way I thought it would. The ground game was pretty non-existent, at least in the second half. The Birds were kind of running it pretty well there. In the first half, I don't know what the hell happened. Both Swift and Gainwell were looking pretty damn well. But of course, this is Brian Johnson. Why stick with something that looks like it's working? Am I right? Oh, oh man. I feel as rough as the Eagles played. Of course, when you have a labor-inducing job, it kind of happens, especially when you go above and beyond. Oy, my legs burn. I'll bet Jalen Hurts' knee is burning. And oh my God. Oh man, I mean, we don't know the extent yet of all the injuries the Eagles suffered in that game, but almost everybody got dinged the fuck up. Goddard went into the locker room, never came back out, so that's concerning. Slay got dinged up. Bradbury got dinged up. They both came back in. Bradbury had a hell of a play on that one drive. I think it was the turnover on downs. Yeah, it was. So, Bradbury had a play. Hassan Reddick, of course, still making plays. Kevin Byard with a huge hit. Finally has a huge statement hit for the Birds. Oh, man. Yeah, there was a rivalry game. It was a rivalry game. Tense, edge of your seats, down to the wire. Both teams making big plays, mainly through the air, as we suspected. And I said the difference would be, it would come down to which QB fucks up less. Well, neither of them turned it over, so... And if you want to say the refs won it for the Eagles, well, each team had 10 fucking penalties, and the Eagles had more penalty yards, and I'm pretty sure we nearly tried to give that game away to Dallas, so I don't know how they want to say that the refs won the game for the Eagles. Now, if you want to say... if you want to say that the game did come down to the quarterbacks... to which quarterback fucked up first, you can almost say Dak Prescott stepping out of bounds on the 2-point try. Because if they do because he would have had it. Maybe, I don't know, the guy was closing in on him, but it was close. Like, if he hadn't stepped out of bounds, maybe he could have got the ball stretched across the goal line, or he'd have gotten tackled. Either way, that missed 2-point try was huge, because then the Cowboys were already in field goal range. I mean, they didn't have to try and score. They would have just kicked the field goal and won it. So, oh man. I'll tell you what, man, 2023 Eagles football, I don't know if I can take any more of this. There's just too much damn drama. Every freaking game is down to the damn wire, and just something crazy happens in every one of these games. Whether it works for the Eagles or against them, and they still somehow overcome it. I mean, let's be honest, Eagle faithful. Our team has been goddamn lucky thus far. 8-1, best record in the NFL, but you wouldn't believe it if you watch some of the games. You know what they say, a team doesn't always have to be great. They just have to be great when they need to be. And the Birds make plays when they really need to. But man, the quarter that really matters the most is the fourth, and the Birds just ran out of gas. I mean, again, the defense still made plays when needed to, but this bend but don't break thing just drives me fucking bonkers. Because that just means there's just too much room for that anything can happen. Like I said, after Dallas got those 2 penalties against the Eagles, I mean, holy shit, did the Birds look undisciplined in that final drive. Like I said, I literally thought Dallas was going to come down and win the game. And yet, somehow, they managed to shoot themselves in the foot. Wow. But what a ball game. Whew. I've been kind of commenting on Scooter Magruder on Twitter, how he doesn't want to do the reaction video. Well, you're going to have to. But hey, don't feel bad, Scoot. The Birds did get away with one there. They got lucky. I mean, I can't deny that. They are extremely lucky to have won this game, but I'll take it because it's still a win over Dallas. And you can't bitch too much about the refs because both teams, as I said, had 10 penalties each, and the Eagles had more penalty yards. So in a way, the refs were trying to give you the game, but you found a way to fuck yourself still. Whew. One comment I made to Scooter Magruder. He put on his Twitter account that CeeDee Lamb was better than A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Now, stat-wise, for that game, he had more catches and yards, but Brown and Smith each had a touchdown reception, and Lamb had none. So as far as I'm concerned, having more catches and receiving yards is just as pointless, just as null, just as mute, just as ho-hum as having more hits and on base than the guy you're playing against when he still scored more runs and RBIs than you. We're not looking for who had the most catches. We're looking to see who had the most touchdowns. So, yeah, count that statistic. Oh, man. But I did like his one comment. At least we're not Giants fans. Jesus Christ, New York. What the fuck? I mean, yeah. Trust me, as an Eagles fan, we kind of had that kind of moment. Like 2004, went to the Super Bowl, came up short. And then the following year, 2005, just completely the opposite. Went 6-10, injuries galore, key players going down left and right. Terrell Owens turned into showed his true colors. Ugh. But damn, Giants. Damn. Oh. What a game. Whew. I just got done watching the highlights again, and holy crap. Still wondering where the hell the run game went after the first half. And Jalen Hurts, gotta love Jalen Hurts. He toughed out that knee injury, threw 2 critical touchdown passes that helped put the game in the Eagles' favor. Held on for dear life. Defense came up with some plays when really needed to. It was kind of reminiscent to, the Super Bowl against the Patriots. No strip sack fumble, but still the sacks were big when they happened. And the Eagles had more sacks, if you can believe that. Like, Dallas is supposed to have the more gritty defense. Well, they were more gritty, but the Birds had the more sacks. So 5 happens to be the big 5. 5 is the number of the day here on Broad Street. Or on Deckman Hollow, if you will, because that's where I live. Ugh. Think about it. 5 seconds left in the game. CeeDee Lamb caught it 5 yards short of the goal line. Birds were up by 5. Birds had 5 sacks. Each team had 5 combined fumbles and only 1 lost on the part of Dallas. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, all the way around Donovan McNabb. Was that relevant in any way? Probably not, but I just felt like throwing it out there. Whew. Now, you thought the Eagles-Cowboys game was wild. Oh, man. It was a wild day all the way around in the NFL. Chiefs jumped out to a 21-0 lead at the half over the electric flying offense of the Miami Dolphins. Well, apparently they forgot to send that offense out to Germany as Kansas City. Holy crap. Now, the second half was the opposite. The Dolphins were coming back, but then the Chiefs defense, actually, no, that big play happened in the first half. My bad. But apparently Miami mishandled a snap or something on 4th and 10, debacled themselves, and just managed to lose the game after catching fire in the second half. But still, Tua Tagovailoa held to his lowest yardage as a QB this season. So, again, this Kansas City defense not getting much talk, but they definitely should now after holding the electrifying Dolphins to 14 points. I mean, hey, my Eagles defense held them to 17. So, again, Kansas City's defense needs to start getting some attention, folks. Milestone, Travis Kelce. Well, even though he didn't have much to say in fantasy-wise in terms of catches and yards, but he had just enough to surpass the great Tony Gonzalez as the Chiefs' now all-time leading receiver. So congrats to Mr. Partey. So, hey, Viking fans, do you love Josh Dobbs? Not a bad debut for just being with the team for less than a week. Holy shit. 3 total touchdowns for Dobbs as he leads the Vikings to an incredible comeback over Atlanta, 31-28. So I'm glad I picked the Vikings, because had I picked the Falcons, well, hey, you still lost. Browns shut out the Cardinals 27-0. Deshaun Watson returns, throws 2 tutties, and yeah, the Browns defense is probably the best in the league as they shut out the Cardinals and help the guy, my former boss, earn 50 points in fantasy because I'm the dumbass that activated the shutout bonus for defenses. So son of a bitch, Arizona. Are you missing Dobbs? I bet you are now. Oh, yeah, here was a stunner. Well, I didn't know Matt Stafford was out, so that's me for not, doing my homework. But, yeah, Green Bay snaps their 4-game losing streak. I mean, it wasn't pretty by any stretch. They still look bad, but they managed to beat an even worse team, 20-3. Oy, how bad were the Rams missing Stafford? The Washington Commanders come back to beat the Patriots 20-17. So, damn, we're not the only team to win in the division again. Thanks for nothing, New England. Saints edge the Bears 24-17. Now, the Bears, of course, had some critical turnovers that went New Orleans' favor. But I'll tell you what, if the Bears didn't have a bad record, this would have been like a good game by 2 good teams. I just got to say, what's going on with New Orleans? They're playing like a complete football team all the way around. Where did this metamorphosis take place? Also, I want to say to @Tom Grossi, I think even if the Bears had Justin Fields, it wouldn't have been any different. Probably would have been even worse. The Ravens destroy the Seahawks 37-3. So apparently it's bad luck to be the first. So apparently it's bad luck to be on top of your division when you play the Ravens, I guess. Odell Beckham Jr. has his first touchdown reception as a Raven, his first since the Super Bowl win with the Rams back in February of 2022. And apparently the Ravens unleashed a secret weapon that none of us knew about, because he was an undrafted 5'8" rookie out of East Carolina. And the kid's name is Keaton Mitchell, who rushed for 138 yards and had a touchdown. Where is this offensive power coming from all of a sudden? It's like just a couple months ago, we're all wondering, man, what's going to happen to this Ravens team? They just keep falling apart. They're dinged up. They got no ground attack. Suddenly look out for the Ravens. It's like we're all talking about Dolphins, Bills, Chiefs, Bengals, but I want to start paying attention to the Ravens because they got an offense, and apparently this defense doesn't get talked about much. I don't hear much about them. I don't even know who the hell is on their defense. That's a household name. So I think we need to start paying more attention to the Ravens again, ladies and gentlemen. Texans 39, Buccaneers 37. What the hell happened in that game? I just got done watching the highlights, and I'm saying to myself, where the fuck was this offense for Tampa Bay most of the season? Like, Baker Mayfield went off, but not enough as C.J. Stroud continues to put in his case for Rookie of the Year. And with that performance, he sets the NFL rookie single game passing yardage record at 470 yards. And the Texans now just a win away from being at 500. Oh, no, wait. They are at 500. My bad. These were 3-4 teams. So now Tampa's 3-5, and the Texans are now an even 500. But I gotta tell you what, they may just sneak into the playoffs. You know, at best, 7-6 seed maybe. The Bucks, hard-fought loss. The Colts edged the Panthers 27-13. Really nothing much to talk about in that game except one guy for the Colts had a pair of pick sixes. Raiders blow out the Giants 30-6. And in his debut as the Raiders head coach, former New York Giant Super Bowl 42 champion Antonio Pierce. Well, no, nothing better than to stomp your old squad and look damn good doing it too. But to be fair, it's the Giants. So let's see what the Raiders can do against the real team. So, yeah. Oh, what a freaking Sunday. Oh, looking at this now, I've done a lot better in my pick'ems than I've had practically the entire season. I only have 2 misses so far. The Titans falling to the Steelers on Thursday night, and the Rams falling to Green Bay. Although, to be fair, I didn't know Matt Stafford was going to miss that game. I may have still picked the Rams just because I thought they had a bit of a better team, but I guess I was wrong. So, we'll see what happens with the Bills-Bengals game. Last I checked, it was tied up at 7-7. I had the Bills pulling it out, so we'll see what happens. I'll recap that either tomorrow night or I'll just wait for my usual Wednesday deadline. And tomorrow night, we got the Chargers and the Jets. I'm still sticking with the Jets just because we know the Chargers love to find ways to lose, and I think the Jets defense has the capability to make that happen. But hey, at least I can go to bed happy because the Eagles are going into the bye week at 8-1 and 1-0 against the Cowboys this year. 3-0 in the division, and thank God because they are dinged the fuck up. So, Eagles won this fight, but the war is far from over. So, I think Dallas can kind of take a little bit of some points from this one because, damn, they fucked up my Birds pretty good. And definitely looked like the more physical team as I feared. So, we'll see what happens because now comes the murderer. Here comes Murderer's Row at Kansas City. In comes Buffalo and San Francisco. And then at Dallas. It's going to be a long fucking 4 weeks. So, I think us Eagles fans better enjoy this while we can in the bye week. And hope the Birds get healthy and get their head out of their ass and learn how to be a full 4-quarter team and learn how to close out games a little less dramatic that causes my blood pressure to go skyrocket. But I guess that's Eagles football 2023. All right. Peace out, everyone. To anyone who watches this video, thank you. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe. If you got some pointers for me or just want to plain, chew my ass out, say how bad I suck, I'm open to it. That's what the comments are for. Give me some pointers to grow on. All right, everybody. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory.